Alright, so thanks to the folks at MetaQuest for sponsoring today's video. I actually had the opportunity, thanks to them, to be flown out to Los Angeles and get my hands on early with Marvel's Deadpool VR. And then after that trip, which was a ton of fun, where I got to hang out with a lot of other creators and we got to just chat and geek out about Deadpool, we also then got to play the full game. And so here we are now. You're hitting the thumbs up button if you're excited for this game, and I am going to be talking about my thoughts on Marvel's Deadpool VR. It is available to play right now exclusively on MetaQuest 3 and MetaQuest 3S. But okay, I am not like a VR expert, all right? I don't play a ton of VR games, but when a Marvel game comes around, when we've got Deadpool in VR, I had to try it out, and I gotta say, it's actually a lot of fun. I've always said that, VR is this interesting piece of tech, and it's always this thing where it's really hard for me to explain to you how much fun the game can be. You really do just have to play it and really see with your own eyes through the VR headset for yourself how much fun it can be. And in the case of Marvel's Deadpool VR, I mean, like, that is very much exactly what I'm talking about here. You're gonna see a lot of clips and a lot of gameplay where I'm really trying my best to illustrate for you this game is a blast. The combat and just in general, the gameplay, the different things that you can do, the creativity that is implemented here in the ways that you can take out your enemies is awesome. Deadpool has an arsenal of 2 guns that he can use, 2 katanas on his back, and then as well a grapple hook. And the grapple hook, honestly, is where you really open up Pandora's box of the crazy stuff you can do in combat. Sometimes you can grapple hook an enemy, pull him towards you, he's flying up in the air, pull out your sword, slide under him, and slice him in half. It's so sick. It's incredibly satisfying. And again, it's one of those things where in your mind, you're like, this should work, right? It should happen the way that I'm thinking. And then it does. Deadpool also has an ability where sometimes an enemy is in kind of a state of being ready to be knocked out. You do a jump and a kick towards them, and usually he'll jump on top and stomp on them. But if you have a sword in hand, well, you can make a little shish kebab with the guy's head. And then also there is a grenade on your forearm. And then also, I mean, just tons of different weapons that you can get off of the enemies that you're fighting. Machine guns, SMGs, shotguns, sometimes a bow and arrow, which is so cool, by the way, and works and functions really well. But there's also like stun batons and just all sorts of stuff that this game throws your way to make it so that you really do feel like Deadpool. I know, it's the obligatory feel like XYZ character in XYZ game, but genuinely, this game does a really good job at that. The story involves Deadpool at first doing some stuff for S.H.I.E.L.D. and then inevitably gets involved in this crazy, wacky story revolving around Mojoworld and Mojo himself. Essentially, Deadpool kind of becomes like a streamer. So he's trying to get his own self-validation. He's trying to help build up his own audience while also making sure that Mojo doesn't, destroy him. As a big X-Men fan, and specifically a fan of the X-Men comics where they get a little weird, I really do love that they involved Mojo in this, that you go to places like Mojoworld. There's a lot of wacky stuff that happens in the story of Marvel's Deadpool VR that I was super into, and I feel is something that totally, at least tonally speaking, fits a character like Deadpool. And because you're going to all these crazy different locations, because you have to do all this stuff for Mojo, you're gonna see a lot of different environments. You're gonna be fighting a variety of enemies as well at these different locations, and they throw plenty of different and unique things your way. That way, the combat isn't just the same thing over and over and over again. You really do have to improvise sometimes, and you have to think up some new ideas to take out some of the stronger enemies. One thing that I learned, which I thought was wild, and again, really adds to the fact that the combat in this game really promotes your level of creativity. You can grab a grenade off of your forearm, and instead of throwing it, just run up to an enemy and punch him. See what happens. If you play this game, see what happens. It's so cool. Or heck, sometimes again, use that grapple hook and you can just literally smash someone on the ground over and over and over again. Or really just do whatever your heart desires. You're gonna feel like Deadpool no matter what. The voice cast here is pretty awesome as well. We've got Neil Patrick Harris as Deadpool, and then we also got John Leguizamo as Mojo. I'm gonna be totally real, in terms of the voices for these characters, Neil Patrick Harris is a really good job as Deadpool in this game. A very convincing voice with this character.
What a shitball Sunday. No Fury, no Coulson, I can't even get a Maria Hill or someone from that show that had a big dog in it. I get a Carl?
Yeah?
Tell me, Carl, you down with my epic plan to get that helicarrier back?
I don't actually know your plan, Mr. Deadpool, sir.
Oh, Fury loved it. I think his exact words were, greatest and most awesome plan I ever heard.
John Leguizamo also not phoning it in whatsoever. He's having a blast with Mojo. You can tell that much, and very much fits the vibe and the style of that character, as gross of a style as it might be. And I mean, there are tons of villains that you're going to be coming across when you play this game. You got Lady Deathstrike in there, Omega Red, Mephisto, even some more obscure villains you might not have heard of before. I mean, Flag Smasher's in this game. And then, you know, like I said, because of the concept of the game, because you're working for Mojo and you're transporting to different areas from Mojoworld, there's lots of different locations like the Shield Helicarrier, Mojoworld itself. You can go to the Yoshida compound. I mean, there's so many different places you're going to go to in this game, which I really had fun with. Also, for as much as this game is totally about you feeling like Deadpool and you having all of Deadpool's arsenal available to you, the player, there's also, from time to time, this thing you can do called Big Money Time. When you do a bunch of special takedowns on enemies, or you get some fancy little eliminations, you're gonna build up this meter. Eventually, you can activate Big Money Time. Now, you can customize this to use other things. Right now, what I really like using the most is Gambit's cards. So you activate Big Money Time, and then all of a sudden, you got Gambit's cards. You're feeling like you're Gambit, throwing them at enemies. Oh, it's so sick. But you could also try out like a version of Thor's hammer. It's not exactly Mjolnir, so, you know, don't get your hopes up on that, but it's gonna feel like Thor's hammer, and I mean, it's sweet. There's some good music that's playing too when you're in Big Money Time, so you're just vibing out while you're taking out enemies, when you're throwing Gambit's cards or you're throwing something that's like Thor's hammer. Such a cool addition to the game. I will say, you know, okay, I'll get into a couple of things, some feedback that I do have for the game. One thing that I do have some feedback on, they really do push the Deadpool isms quite a bit. There are times where I'm wondering, like, okay, is he really, he's gonna crack a joke on every single response here. So yeah, maybe they push it just a bit too far. And you know, also there's some instances where they're doing like the Deadpool fourth wall break, which, I mean, most of those jokes really did land for me, but also in those instances, you're talking to somebody and they're acknowledging that you broke the fourth wall and they're like, wait, what are you talking about? I found that kind of weird. Usually, at least the way that I've interpreted it, when Deadpool breaks the fourth wall, it's something that's specific to the audience. It's not something that anybody within the world of Deadpool or of Marvel are acknowledging or understanding that he's doing. So sometimes it would throw me off a little bit when you were having characters you were interacting with being like, wait, what did you just say? Why are you saying that? When it's a joke that's meant for me, the player. But I mean, outside of that, I mean, gameplay, story, boss fights, you know, customization. There's so much you can do in this game. There was a lot more that I was beginning to uncover with Marvel's Deadpool VR that I didn't initially expect was going to be in the game. I'm thoroughly impressed. If you're a VR fan, this is a must have. If you're looking to get into VR, this is a very good entry point. But there you have it. That's my thoughts on Marvel's Deadpool VR. I'll now kick it to you guys. Sound off with your thoughts in the comments section below. Have you had a chance to play the game? Are you going to play it? If so, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Once again, a huge thanks to MetaQuest for sponsoring today's video. Marvel's Deadpool VR is available right now on MetaQuest 3 and MetaQuest 3S. So get your hands on it. And with that being said, I've been Caboose. I'll see you guys later.